Check. Respect. Protect your neck.
We need some oh no, that ain't it.
But hold up, wait a minute, stop that. I need to focus on now, not that.
Get your mind right and your money tight. Lately I ain't been seeing no.
What is up, people? This is Influence. And to my right, I got my good friend Braison.
Hello.
This is What We Thinking.
What We Thinking
podcast today. So I know I said before that I didn't want this to be a strictly music podcast, but I did let you guys know that we would talk about music probably a lot because it's something interesting. So let's talk about the beef that's still going on for those people that don't know. I think most people that's in the hip hop knows, but I haven't been really following it as closely.
Mm-hmm.
I think you and my fiance Brenda has been keeping me up on stuff. So what's up with that?
I mean,
I know Rick Ross.
Yeah, latest developments. Drake released a song called Push Ups.
Oh yeah. It was released officially today, I believe.
Yeah.
It leaked.
It leaked
like what, few days ago or earlier this week?
Seems like a week. No, it was a Saturday that it came out.
Oh, okay. So last
almost
week.
A week.
Man.
Yeah, so like two versions leaked. Like one leaked and a different version leaked that was, in my opinion, a better version, and that's the version that's out now, official probably.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I mean,
what you think about it?
What I think about it?
Yeah.
What I think about it is that I think that it's cool. I think it's cool.
It's cool.
That's
cool.
what I think.
I don't know. I don't think that's good for a diss track.
Well, I mean,
is it there? Like,
I think he said enough. He talked enough smack to where Kendrick has to respond.
Okay. He talked about a couple other people too, right?
Yeah, he talked about a few people. He addressed Future, Rick Ross, Metro Boomin, which is like the funniest part of the of the song.
I just know I saw his story. I don't even follow him, but I think Brenda might have sent me Drake's story when he had the country people. The country people was dancing and it was like play them drums, just play them drums, shut the fuck up or something like that. And at first I was like, what is he doing? But I didn't realize he was talking to Metro Boomin because he's a producer. He's a beat maker. So I thought that was funny. Drake is petty.
He also addressed with The Weeknd and The Weeknd's manager.
Jesus, what's going on?
NBA player. What's his name? The new guy with the hair who had the
Wemby?
Had the gun on the
what's his name? John Morant?
Yeah. I didn't know who he was talking about.
Is that his first
I was wondering
why he get at him? You know?
I'm getting this information from another podcast, but
okay.
Something I heard it was something about a woman.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Oh. Ain't it always? That's wild. I haven't been up on it. I've been lagging because I just haven't been really interested. I was interested when Kendrick dropped. I was interested when J. Cole dropped, and then he retracted before we got our podcast out last week. So I had to add a little footnote. Yeah, so I don't know. I think his apology kind of threw me off and also made me not care anymore about any of it for real. Like, it was weird. It was weird because it was the first time in hip hop that has happened during an active battle. Not, Jay and Nas came together years later and there was real beef there. So I agree with people that say they should have just went back and forth. I understand what J. Cole was saying. I understand that's his friend. unlike a lot of people, I don't think he was scared of Kendrick. I
No, I
think,
don't think
it
so.
was his. Yeah, a lot of people are painting that narrative like he put his song out and people was like, ugh, and maybe that did have something to do with it, because I think what happened. Some people are saying he put his song out, people didn't like it, and then he was like, "Oh man, let me try to walk this back." Personally, what I think it kind of was that too, but not because he was scared. I think he looked at it like, oh, I got to go farther than this to get people up. I don't want to do that to my friend. That's how I feel. I don't know. I don't know these people. Like, but that's what I think. Just knowing like him throughout his career and stuff, I know they're friends for real. So I just think that he looked at it like, listen, I'm not willing to go as far. I went far in this, and y'all are like, oh, this is some BS. You ain't do what you were supposed to do. So I can't go no farther with him. Like, I don't think it does bring up something though. Somebody said that he can't talk all that mess no more. I don't know about that, but
yeah, I mean, I honestly, I'd rather not. Like I had a song of his on, and he started, talking that mess, and I turned it off. Like, I honestly don't want to hear that.
Unfortunately, I think that's a byproduct, because the sport of hip hop is this. It's competition, even if you're not really beefing, which I think a lot of the people that do get into beefs aren't really beefing. There have been few real 100% beefs, like 50 Cent and Ja Rule. That was like, I don't like you, and I never will like you. So that was real. Jay and Nas was some real stuff, even though they kept it on wax, which was great. It's usually feeling slighted and that, not street beefs. So that's what I mean when I say that. They might have real problems with each other, but I don't think it's going to go any further than the music. Hopefully it does not. But back to Ross and Drake.
But I do want to say, I don't have nothing against J. Cole for what he did. I just want to say that. I just do feel like, okay, now I'd rather hear him without downplaying other rappers or talking about how great he is at rapping. I know it. We know it already.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. So I just, because of the apology, it's different now when hearing that.
Yeah.
But I don't hold nothing against him. I
feel the same way. Like, it's a weird space though to me to be in for him. I mean, I'm not him. He might navigate it fine, but it's a weird space. Like, I know Maul said that he just don't want to hear him talk anything, and he can't anymore. And I kind of agree with that. Like you said, it's hard to hear that stuff. Like, I'll battle any rapper, I'll destroy any rapper. Like, well, there he was. Like, there he is. And it's sport, and it's probably not going to go anywhere else. Like, it's not going to spill out into the street, regardless of what they talking. Like, it's just the sport. So there we go. But
he felt too deeply about it. He felt like, this is my friend. I don't want to affect his legacy. What I'm thinking is maybe he heard some of the talk about his song and people actually agreeing with some of the stuff he was saying.
Yeah.
And maybe he didn't like that.
That too. He did say that. I think he said that verbatim, what you just said. I think he said that, even though I know people are like, well, you said it. Like, when he said about his albums, he was upset seeing people agree online and like trash Kendrick's albums after he said something. It was like, oh yeah, that's true. Like, this is garbage, and y'all hold it for like it's this. And I think that might have affected him too. Like, he's like trashing somebody's art.
He ain't really mean that.
Yeah. But
I didn't agree with him. I didn't agree with him personally.
I didn't agree with him it being trash, but I definitely agree that he has less classics than people would like to say, or that some of his albums are better than what people say, or vice versa, I should say, me personally. But I didn't agree that any of his albums are garbage.
You know what I can tell you is, with me anyway, this whole thing has upped my listening time to Kendrick's music in particular. I've listened to all of their music more with all this going on, but Kendrick's the most. So, and then like in Drake's song, he like kind of references something that Kendrick did in one of his songs in what's that one? Silent Hill, the Silent Hill song with Kodak Black, and it made me go listen to the song.
Oh.
I don't know if that was his intention.
I mean, that's always I think it's always an intention. All these artists.
No, but I mean, did Drake want me to go listen to Kendrick?
Oh, nah.
After he
but it's always promotion. Like it's always promotion. So I think that's just what it is. It's just a byproduct. Just like when you hear a song in a movie, an old song, and then it just goes up, shoots up. Just like Nas, Nas Illmatic was in Ozark. He got $1 million for that. Like,
Thanks.
you know, his whole basically the whole album was in the one episode, and they played like every song in a different scene, which was pretty dope. I remember that episode because I was like, oh, they really playing Nas throughout this whole episode, and that was dope because and it's dope that you can, you know, that's his first album from 30. It's 30 today, matter of fact, just to let you know.
Yeah.
Illmatic.
Ain't that something how that happened?
Yeah, that's wild.
We was just talking about.
Like we was just talking about last pod, and a couple of people posted about it being the greatest album of all time. I'm just saying. But yeah, shout out to Nas for having Illmatic 30 years ago today, April 19th, 1994, I believe. Man, that's crazy. I remember that day. I remember buying it that day. I think it was Camelot in the mall. It wasn't even FYE yet, or FY. What was it called? FYE.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah, it wasn't even that yet. I think it changed over to that later. But yeah, shout out to Nas and one of the greatest albums. One of them, I say. Yeah, I don't want to dwell too much on the actual beefs, unless you got more to say about it.
Oh yeah, there was something else I wanted to say about that. My take is that Drake thinks that, or has been informed or knows that he's talking about a song, a 4-year-old song that Kendrick has about him. And he wants, my take is that Drake, the push-up song, is like bait. He just put something out there.
To get somebody to jump.
To get him, yeah.
Well, we all know Drake is very calculating. I can say that. I don't know if everybody knows that, but I think people in the music business and people that are hip hop fans know that Drake is very calculating, and he also is very petty. I'm sure he has more written. I'm sure he has more of anything. Oh, I did want to talk about, because I want to get your opinion. We're not going to leave the beef yet, because the track listing, or not the track listing, the credits are getting everybody in a frenzy.
For what?
For both songs, because Drake, I think more Drake. I'm not sure. They were saying both songs credits leaked, and people are getting in a frenzy. But I think it's more for Drake because it's like 8 different people credited on the song.
On this song?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that.
There's a couple producers, I know them, so I know, of course, producers are going to get credited. But I think a lot of people in the business don't know. I'm not taking up for Drake. I don't know if he had help writing it, but I don't think a lot of people know in the business. There could be somebody sitting in the studio with you and get a credit. Like they could yell out and be like, you know, why don't you say hard like this, hard? And he does it. And then if he wants to give him a credit, he can give him a credit. If he wants to shoot him some dough and give him a credit for like 5% or whatever, like he can give a credit. So I'm not necessarily, credits don't necessarily mean to me that a person is having a bunch of ghostwriters, but we do know the talk. So I think that's why it's getting people up in arms about it. What you feel about that? How you feel about that?
I mean, if someone was getting help with their diss
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild to me.
That would take something away from it. Like, I don't really care. Like the reference track, the Yachty for the song, one of Drake's songs, Jumbotron something, a reference track with Yachty doing it, like leaked. I don't really care about that because it's like a different style. It's like not really a bars kind of song. But if someone would get help with their diss track, and that would take something away from it for me and the other person, if they're going at it just themselves.
Yeah.
That would mean more. So I mean, I guess if you're gonna get help, then nobody should know it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. But that's the other reason why I'm not so convinced that that's evidence, because he knows the credits is gonna come out. Like it's on streaming services, so that's why there's credits. I know a lot of people too might be like, why is there even credits on the diss track? Because it's not like back in the day when you could just put a track out on a tape,
they're putting it out for
or
money
something.
now.
Yeah, they're putting it out on streaming services, so you gotta have all the credits, all that stuff. Now he didn't have to put credits on there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he didn't have to name anybody. That's the other reason why I feel if he's gonna be that deceitful, why not just leave anybody that wrote off and be like, listen, I'll slide you a couple dollars. He got the money to do it. To be like, I slide you a couple dollars, just don't get your name on there. And whatever is worth, I'll slide it to you. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't think his diss track is ghost written. But you never know. Never know. But I definitely agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
If it is ghost written, that definitely, that's worse than the apology.
That reminds me of Benzino's Rap Elvis. It's really good.
Yeah, it is good. It is good.
Like, Eminem don't have to respond to this because
he didn't write it.
I know it.
He didn't write it.
I don't have to.
It sounds nothing like how he raps.
Right.
It sounds nothing like his flow in 150,000 songs, whatever song he's ever done.
Yeah.
I actually used to listen to Benzino back in the day when he was with I think he was with a couple, it was like a group. Mm-hmm. And I like that album, that group album. He was on a few songs, but it was mainly other people, and the producer on that song, I think it was DMX's old producer. Oh man, I can't remember his name. But I mean, producer of that album but it was a compilation album for his label. I did listen to that, and even the songs that I like that he did, he was not rapping like he was rapping on this song. Mm-hmm. So I have no doubt that he ain't write that shit.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt that he ain't write that shit. And I agree. I'm like, Eminem don't need to respond to that.
I want to state who you got. Me, Kendrick. I just want to state that. I feel like Kendrick,
now I think I always felt like Kendrick was better than Drake to me.
Well, I mean,
like Drake, I don't know. I mean, I'm not the person, I don't listen to Drake because of, I know he makes good music. I'm not disparaging his music, but his music is the reason I don't listen to him, because I don't really listen to that poppy type of music.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know it's good. Like I can hear, and I can hear the melodies. I can hear him rapping. He can rap. Like I think he can rap, but I just don't listen to him a lot. And so Kendrick and J. Cole is always better than him with rapping to me. But I know what Lupe just said. Lupe said Drake the best out of all three of them. And Lupe is a monster lyrically. I know a lot of people don't listen to Lupe. He's had a couple questionable things, but he is a lyricist, a monster. Everything I've heard from him was dope as far as lyrically. Like, I didn't like all his music. So I think he can talk, but I don't know where his alliances are, I should say. And I don't know if he has an ulterior motive in saying that. So I think he does. I don't know. I don't know him personally.
I think for me, it's not really about, when I say I got Kendrick, it's in this battle.
Okay.
I think he's going to win.
The battle with J. Cole and Drake.
The battle with Drake.
With Drake, yeah. J. Cole
you
was
know
out.
what I mean?
Yeah, J. Cole was out.
Because even so far, I like what he's done more so far. Like That is definitely better than Push Ups. But
definitely.
The song is the song. The
whole song
is better than Push Ups.
Okay.
And then I like Kendrick's delivery. I like all of that. But I'm not even comparing them at this point. I think at some point, I might have liked Drake rapping more than Kendrick.
Okay.
But I don't know. I can't say that now. And I don't know if either one of them are on this like bars, like lyrically bars kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
With the music they've come out with lately. And that's why J. Cole is the better rapper.
Yes. I
out
agree.
of all of them.
I agree with that. And it's unfortunate. I mean, but I agree with it. And I wish they would have kept going because it would have been a great time for hip hop, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people, I said it last week, a lot of people, they're like, oh, why they gotta be fighting? I think it's always good for hip hop as long as they keep it on albums. Nobody gets hurt. And I think with these guys, I don't think that would happen. Not that they don't have the potential. I just think they're a little closer and a little smarter than that. So I don't think it would go off of wax. So I was really looking forward to this. I'm still disappointed. Like I said, I understand why J. Cole did it, but just disappointing.
It's entertaining.
It is entertaining.
I listen to the Drake song a lot, even though it's cool to me. Like, I can't say, like, it's like I was listening to it a lot, and I can't say, like, at first, initial reactions when you hear it, and then it was leaked. So, but when I listen to it more, like, I can't say it's bad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think. At the same time, I couldn't just out and say I like it. I can't say it's bad.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's cool, and it's there's entertaining stuff about it. Now the song Like That, Kendrick's verse, the hook, I can say I like it. I like that. It's good. It's entertaining.
I listened to his old album,
mm-hmm.
Metro Boomin and Future.
There's a couple of them.
Where's Like That on?
The first one.
Okay.
We Don't Trust.
Okay. I think that's the one I was listening to. I didn't realize it was two. It's cool. I don't like Future like that, but he does make some good music. And yeah, Like That is definitely, it's cool. It's cool.
They were speculating that Kendrick is going to drop his song once Like That drops from #1 on the Billboard charts, then
drop another one.
Yeah,
that would be smart
because Kendrick doesn't want to interrupt the momentum that Like That has. It's still the #1 song. So
no, I can see that
it's
business wise. It will. Like business wise,
mm-hmm.
I can see why. I mean, at the end of the day, they're making money off this, and they will be making money off of it.
Yeah, but I think Kendrick is just a powerful rapper, and Lupe Fiasco is one of my favorites of all time, but I disagree with him. Like, I disagree with him too. That's why I said I don't know if he has an ulterior motive. He's ready to jump in the ring with anybody though, and I don't know if that's why he said it. Like, so, like maybe it's some reverse psychology there, and he really want to jump in the ring with Kendrick. So he's like, Drake is better than Kendrick, so Kendrick can say something about him, and then he can go. I don't know. I mean, that's just my mind. That's just how my mind works. But I don't know if he's that calculated. That's something Drake would do. Definitely. Drake would say something sly about somebody, sub somebody, won't even say their name or whatever, and get them to jump. And I mean, I think that's what a lot of rappers do. I think that's what Kendrick did, really. I like that verse. Yeah.
Especially with J. Cole. Like, it wasn't even a lot of stuff about him in it. I mean, we talked about that. I don't want to rehash it all the way, but yeah, I think it was more stuff in there about Drake than anybody. So for J. Cole to jump out there first.
But you know what? I remember my rapper days.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know.
One syllable about me.
Yeah, it's a rap.
Yeah.
Listen, you don't want that people that was on our label. You done had battles with with people that was on the label.
I was thinking about that.
So
I was thinking in my battle tested, then I thought about,
man, we had a battle with remember that dude we had a battle with?
Yeah, online.
Yeah, he said, I don't know what made him say some bullshit about us, but we
he was going back and forth with it. With guy on our label, my cousin.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, but I know we jumped in it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fair fight, but yeah, he was trash anyway.
Yeah, it was funny. Like I was thinking about it.
It was fun.
I was thinking about it because, like, and that was fun. Like it was online. Fun. He put a song out, we put a song out, I put a song out, you put a song, like, and then it was coming back and forth. Then I remember,
he got jumped. He definitely got jumped. I think about it now, and I'm like, yeah, he got jumped. He ain't have a chance.
I was with some of my friends in college, and he put his song on the line, and I was listening, and he did something in the intro about me, and I laughed.
I remember.
And my friend was like. And it was a girl. She was like, "You ain't supposed to laugh at like."
Listen, it was funny.
That part was funny.
It was funny.
I was like, the rest of the song couldn't mess with me, but that part was funny.
Yeah, no, that was funny. That was fun.
I was thinking about remember Vince came. Remember Vince had said something.
Yeah.
Then I responded.
Yeah.
And then Sean, and these are people, and then we getting into people on our label.
Yeah,
Sean.
Yeah, then we was just back and forth. We was having fun though. Yeah. I think it was just fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was some hard shit though coming out, but it was fun. Like we knew nothing gonna happen unless dude really, I don't know, because we destroyed him. So I don't know. I don't know how he felt.
That was fun. That was some heat too. It was some heat.
Yeah, definitely.
And all of that. Like, and all of that. But then we had that, remember we had that freestyle, kind of free at my old place. We was freestyle battling a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, can we say his name? Is it okay to say a name, a first name?
Who is it? I don't know. I don't know how you feel.
Well, one of the people.
I'll cut it out.
All right. He came out, like, my writing game was fire, but that freestyle on the spot, he was good too. He was great too at rapping too.
Yeah.
But his freestyle, he got me there.
Yeah.
He got me there.
Man. Good times back to talking about influential records again. Cool.
I wish we had some of that. Some of them songs.
I probably got them. They're probably over there on the hard drive right now.
Fuck you.
Hell yeah.
I'm saying full names in it. I just remember.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wants that.
Yeah, probably not.
I said, yeah. But I remember that. He liked that. He said he would be driving around bumping at me saying his name. So-and-so F you.
Yeah.
Like, he would be, he said he was bumping that in front of a club or something.
That's
and
wild.
They were jamming to it. I can relate because I had thought, like, am I battle tested? And yeah, we get there. We get right back to talking about our old stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I can't, because that's it. If I was Cole, I would have went in and murdered. Like I would have put something crazy out. Like, because here's the thing. You're so worried about this man's legacy. Was he so worried about yours?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
You know?
But it is what it is. I mean, everybody feels different about everything, so it's subjective.
But then again, he's like, I'm in my Zen mode. Like, you know, I ain't even on that. It don't matter what he on, maybe. Like, you know?
Yeah, like, that ain't me. That's him.
Right.
So, yeah, everybody's different. So let's move from music a little bit. I mean, we might jump back there. Who knows? something comes up. But you watched anything good lately?
Oh, I've seen the Book of Clarence.
Book of Clarence. I want to see that. I haven't
saw
seen
that,
it.
and I liked it.
What's your short review of it?
More than I thought. Even I thought I would like it, but then I watched it and I enjoyed it a lot. Like, it is really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really good.
I think I'm going to check it out. I know Dune 2 just dropped on streaming, I believe. Did you see the Dune first one?
No.
Okay. Man, that was like the best movie I've seen in 2021. Came out 2021 because it came straight to streaming because it was still COVID going on.
You seen the second one then?
No, I ain't see it yet because it came out in the movies and I was trying to go see it and I just never made it to the movies because I want to see it. If I don't go to the IMAX, I'm not going. So that's the only way I will watch a movie in the movie theater because I have a theater here and I figured if I miss it at the IMAX, I'll just wait until it come on streaming and then I'll watch it here. But I'm going to check it out. It's like 2 hours, 45 minutes, something like that. First one was long too. But it was a great movie. It's a great movie. That writer, I forget his name. I don't know how I forget his name. He's done like a bunch of movies and they're all good. All great. Science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Valero, I think that's his name. But yeah, he's dope. He's dope. Anything else you watch? Shows or anything?
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I saw the part 1 of it on Netflix, Rebel Moon, part 1.
Oh, okay.
And the part 2 came out, I think, today. So I got to see that because the first one was so good. I got to see that. And I don't know if he was the director of the first one, but this part 1 says a Zack Snyder film.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Heard of that. That's not Star Wars, is it?
No, I was thinking about that too.
I seen it. I heard about it, but I didn't watch it. I saw some people online talking about it. I thought it was Star Wars, but I wasn't sure.
No, it don't seem like it's Star Wars, but
yeah, I don't. That's one thing I don't. I collect a lot of stuff. I'm into a lot of nerd stuff that they would say, but I never really got totally into Star Wars. Like, so I'm just out of it. I mean, I got into it, the early movies. I was into it when I was younger, but yeah, I never been like into it like a lot of people are. Like, I haven't watched almost any of. I think I saw The Mandalorian. That was it. Like, any of their shows, I haven't watched. I haven't seen all the movies, so I just don't know.
I've seen all the movies. Like, at a certain point, I think I've seen a couple of the movies, and they were so good to me that I went back and I watched everything. And I watched everything. And even I watched the one. It was like an offshoot of Star Trek, but it was Star Trek.
Star Wars?
No, I'm thinking it might have been called Rebel One or something like that.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh, Star Wars.
Oh, okay. You about to get everybody mad at you.
No.
in the fandom, the Star Wars and Star Trek fandom, people will go nuts.
Nah.
About to get death threats. Them people crazy. Sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody. Y'all ain't crazy, but y'all crazy. Y'all know who you are. I understand.
Yeah.
Transformers is same way. If somebody say some bullshit, I'm on them. Speaking of that, you seen the new Transformers trailer? Transformers 1, yeah, it's animated.
Okay.
But it's more for kids. I don't want to get too deep in it in this. I like the animation, what it looks like, but it's really light toned, and I wanted it to be darker. Like I thought it was gonna be more adult, but it's more for kids. Which I understand why they gotta sell them tickets. They gotta get new people buying toys. That's mainly what it is. I'll probably deep dive it on my other YouTube channel, where it's mostly about Transformers. But yeah, I don't know. I was a little disappointed in it.
You gonna watch it?
Yeah, I'll probably see it because I think it will be entertaining. Like I like movies like that, like Baymax and all those movies. You know, they're entertaining, they're fun. So I'm hoping this is fun like that and entertaining. If it has to be light and jokey, I'm hoping it's at least funny and fun and a good thing to watch. So if it's light and jokey, I got a light jokey Transformers movie. So I mean, it's cool. Can't be worse than the live action movies. So I did want to talk about this new robot, and maybe we can talk about AI too, because that question came up. My
I just
fiance
seen him in a commercial.
What?
AI with Kevin Hart. And stuff.
I'm talking about AI, like artificial intelligence. Every time I hear AI, I feel you, because every time I hear AI, I know you was joking, but every time I hear AI, that's all I think about is Allen Iverson. Every single time I see it somewhere or hear about it, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. The answer that will always be AI, the original AI. But yeah, my fiance was asking me about AI because now Meta has it built in. Facebook, I guess. Meta Facebook. I don't know what they call themselves these days, but they have it built in the AI. What's your feelings on AI? Like it's not going anywhere.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting. Like I've enjoyed listening to some AI songs. I've looked about. I forget her name, but there's a robot, an AI robot, like woman robot, and it's interesting. It's but it's also like, you know, I was just recently thinking, like, if there was an AI robot, if one of these robots, would I, like, you know, in the movie I, Robot?
Yeah.
And they was having
That's
them
exactly
out
what's gonna
in
happen.
people's houses to help them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would want
That's
that.
exactly what's gonna happen.
I don't know if I'd want that.
No, you know what? And the thing is, like with the robots and the AI, I was getting at the robots because I know Boston Dynamics, which is one of the few people that are making humanoid robots. They just unveiled a new robot, and it's the creepiest way they could show it getting up. It looked like The Ring, like the girl climbing out the TV. So just seeing that, but they troll a lot. Boston Dynamics troll a lot, and they know they feed on the fears, or I don't even know if it's feeding, not feeding, but they kind of make fun of people's fears of robots. So they make them do stuff that seems wild, like their dog robot that looks like it, you know, and it has some military applications too. So I definitely think it's gonna get scary. It's gonna get weird.
That particular robot, like, and in that clip that they showed, like, it was smooth. The way it got up, the way it turned around, Then it started walking away. Everything was smooth, but the walk away was kind of like stiff and like, you know.
Well, I know they posted a video saying farewell to their first robot.
Yeah.
And I think that's dope that they posted. I think that's a sign of a healthy company, is when you can laugh at your failures. And the video they posted, like, it failed a lot. Like, they don't really show that as much. Like the videos I've seen, it did everything it was supposed to do. But this whole video of saying farewell was all the failures. Like it trying to jump over stuff and the leg breaking off and the hydraulic, I assume it's hydraulic fluid shooting out. It looked weird to me because one of the videos, it tried to jump up on this box and it hit its knee and it fell into the fetal position and it hurt me. Like I was like, oh, that looked like it hurt. Like I felt it. And it was weird to me to see, to feel. And that's when it gets weird. Like I was feeling empathy for a robot. And it was just natural because of the way it looked. And I think that's the thing why they keep making humanoid robots, is to make us comfortable. I'm not a conspiracy theory. I do know conspiracy theories, a few of them are real, but most of them are not. But I'm not one of them guys that's just going to say that it definitely is going to be. I think it's the user that's going to make it whatever it is. But I can say I do think that's why they make them humanoid, to get us more comfortable. Because if they look weird, like the robots you see building cars and stuff, they're just like arms and they're just they're just a function. These robots are to make us feel comfortable and have them using or doing stuff for us. But the other token is when they become aware, and they will eventually become aware of themselves. Like that's the how can I say it? That's the ethical dilemma, because when they come aware, then they become slaves, basically. Like if we're building them to do whatever we don't want to do, and they're just doing all our work, our busy work or whatever, when they become aware, that's basically what it is. Like iRobot is basically what that is. That whole scenario when they became aware, and then they're like, we don't want to do this. Like this, and I mean, they had other elements to make it an action movie, but it came down to the main robot. Like basically that's what it was. Like these robots are made to help, but we're starting to be aware of ourselves. So like we got dreams and stuff now, whatever that looks like. And essentially that's what it is. Like they become slaves. They become enslaved. If they're aware of themselves and you got them doing work for free, like that's basically what it is. It's not a human. So it's all like weird. But the AI stuff, as far as like the search engines and the images, some of that stuff I like, some of it I don't, because it is taken from artists. Like it's not creating its own stuff. That's where I think the dilemma is for me. Like right now, it's not. It may in the future create its own, and that's a different dilemma. One that's less. I don't know if it's less gray area, but it's something that it's created itself. You can't really say anything about it. Now, if that's going to be considered art or whatever, that's up to whoever. However, now it's scouring the internet, taking different parts of people's art, real people, whether it's their voice, their music, their drawings, whatever, and then compiling it together and showing you an image of stuff that's compiled from real artwork. Like that's where the dilemma is.
Yeah, you know what? That makes sense, because speaking of images, I've enjoyed some AI artwork.
Yeah, me too.
But I mean, what I'm talking about is porn. It's porn. It's pornography. But I've also on some of these AI porn pictures, I'm like, that looks like the face of a certain person. Like,
you know what? And it's wild because not that I haven't really seen that, but I've seen like people online doing their AI pictures, and it's their face, but then they look like whatever. And I know somebody was making a joke saying, how y'all taking compliments under your pictures, and these are AI pictures. Like, and y'all really like, thank you. Like, you don't look nothing like that. Like your face, your very right here is what's on it, and nothing else looks like you. Even your face don't look like you. Like, so that's weird to me. That's strange. But I do use the AI search engine. I think it's a lot better. That's the other thing. It gets stuff wrong though. So you do have to double check. Anybody uses a search engine, don't take it for verbatim. Sometimes it mixes up stuff. Like even the good ones, the best ones. I mean, I'm sure it's learning all the time and it's getting better, but it's been shown online, like people who use it, like it does mess up. It does bring back returns that they kind of mix together different. Like if you're asking about historic stuff, it could mix that up, and you might get wrong dates, or what happened might be wrong. So you really got to do your due diligence. But like with scripts and stuff, that's where stuff starts to get weird too. Like say you want to write a movie, you can tell the search engine or whatever you're using. Like I use Copilot Just gonna say it ain't, we ain't sponsored or nothing. Microsoft, if you want to sponsor us. But yeah, I use Copilot a lot, and you can be very specific. Like, give me a script talking about this, and this. I've done that before, even though I don't use scripts in my YouTube. I've done it to figure out what I should talk about in my YouTube. So I don't use scripts. I don't script anything. I have never used the script that it's given me, but it comes back with so many facts about it. Like I said, you got to double check, but sometimes you don't know what to look for. So I look at that first. I'm like, give me a script talking about anything. Like, I do it for the action figures I review. Like, give me a script talking about Optimus Prime's this version of Optimus Prime. And then it'll come back like, yeah, Optimus Prime. It'll give you like a whole big script. Like it is doing a YouTube video. And it'll be you talking, reference picture, you talk, like it'll give you all that where you don't have to think about none of that. So I can see where if writers start using it, it's gonna be, and I don't know how teachers are dealing with this. Man, it's got to be crazy. I just watched, I think Abbott talked about it. You watch Abbott Elementary?
No, I watched maybe 1 or 2 episodes.
Oh, you only watched 1 or 2?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Abbott. Great show. Please go see it. Go watch it. Go support it. Love the show. But I think they just discussed about AI because they were responding to emails with AI to other teachers' emails because they didn't feel like reading them because they were so long. Like, stuff like that. And they have they were using, the reason they knew because they used some, and I don't know any teachers out there, let me know. I know a couple teachers, but I don't know if they're using that program. There's a program that tells you if it's AI or not, or I guess it looks at the nuances.
Yeah.
So now that's like an extra step for teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Because these kids, I know these kids are using it.
Right.
Like, we got to write a 50 page, or not even 50.
Yeah.
If you're in high school, I'm sure these high school kids are using it. You got to write a 10-page paper. It's like, write me a 10-page paper on such and such. Then just going down the line. Like I said, it might get some stuff wrong. So anybody out there that's doing that in college, high school, whatever, like, be careful. That's plagiarism. Definitely can get kicked out of college for that. I don't know about high school. You probably can though. But yeah, the AI is, I don't know.
It's interesting. Like, I find some of the stuff entertaining that it does. Like, I listened to a whole AI George Carlin special, and it was fire.
That's wild, and that's wild to me. Like, a whole comedy special. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's where I think it kind of blurs the line and gets interesting.
And the AI music, I'm like, I don't know. If it sounds good, I'm kind of with it.
See,
it's like,
I think there's a spot for AI in music, even in this world, but I don't know
like
about
a genre, that. Like on this, like AI music, like with the genres.
I would be down with the AI music if, for certain, it wasn't stealing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it was just making its own stuff, like maybe scouring the internet, listening to stuff, and then coming up with its own 100% from, like, maybe from the beats that it heard, or maybe from the lyrics or whatever, and it learns cadences like that, I might be down with. But right now, as it is, knowing that it's scouring people's, words or whatever, and maybe rearranging them, maybe taking people's beats, and of course, it's taking people's voice. So, yeah, that's like a gray area, big gray area for me. I mean, not even gray. Like, it's I don't think it's right, especially with art too. Well, not especially, both music and art. I mean, they're all art, but
check this out.
Art, like illustration.
But check this out. Say if I used AI to go listen to my past music, and then either come up with some new stuff and just have AI use my voice as it learns my voice, in my way of rapping or singing, or make something up like I would make up. How would you feel about that? Because it's me doing it to me.
I think I would be okay with that if the artist was all right with it. Like if the artist signed up for it, that's something different. Like if the artist signed up to have that happen to their music or their voice or whatever, and they were like, I just want to see, I want to make it. I think that would be fine. It's just the not knowing. Like now how it is, like make me a song. But the other thing, like copywriting it.
Mm-hmm.
Like as is now, I believe. I mean, the laws are going to change, of course.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably trying to figure it out now because laws take so long to change. And the way this stuff moves, the laws will be changed and then something else will come up. Like, because this moves fast. Like AI, all that stuff moves fast. So, yeah, by the time the laws change, it probably something else. But as of now, say who owns that?
Right.
Like if you do that, if you go to wherever you can, because I don't really know how to make up a whole song with AI. Like you can make videos now too. Apparently, wherever you go to do this, and say you go and make it up, and you put everything in there, and it comes out, and it's the Drake song. Like I don't know how that works as far as like copyright.
Mm-hmm.
Like technically, AI made it, but it was your prompts that made it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, there's people that's selling prompts now.
And then like it's his likeness.
Yeah, it's his likeness, but you made it or you got AI to make it. So who owns that copyright? Like, can you copyright that? Like technically you can, but
in our case, if I do it to my old songs, we do it to our old music, and can we do it then? It's in our likeness, and we gave the prompts.
Oh yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Like if it's the particular artist,
yeah.
and I mean I think that's another layer. Like how many artists coming out will do that?
Does the company that come up with the AI have no right in?
That's the other thing. You got to look at the fine print. They might. They do take everything. Like some of those like fine prints. If you're whatever you come up with, they stay on there. You can download it, but they stay on there, and like it's kind of theirs forever, I guess, because it's just in their system. It's just like posting on social media. Like it's basically theirs. Once you post something, like it's technically whatever you post is theirs. Look at the fine print, people. Like they can do. That's why they're having commercials, and sometimes it'll be people on TikTok or whatever. They'll take their videos and put them in commercials. Sometimes they don't always have to pay them to do that because of the terms of service. Some people get paid because they're affiliated with whoever the companies are. But if you're not affiliated with them and they just take your video off the platform, sometimes they can do that. They can take pictures. It's just like the newspaper. The newspaper will take pictures from your Facebook to write a story about you. Like say something happens and they can go on your Facebook, take that picture, and write a story about you and put your picture in the paper. And it's fine according to certain laws. So yeah, so that's a lot. It gets convoluted fast. So I can't imagine trying to figure out these laws. Whoever is trying to figure out, we already know that the government works slow as molasses anyway, with anything. Get back to the robot.
Okay.
Actual robot.
Okay.
Because I'm interested in the robots. Yeah, I have the robot vacuum, and one of them is super smart. Like that thing, and I know it's got LiDAR, I guess it's called, and cameras on it to let it know, but it's crazy because it mops and it vacuums, and it'll mop only hardwood floor. When it comes up to the carpet, the mops will lift up. It knows that it's at a carpet. If it hits wires, it'll send me a notification on my phone saying there's wires on the floor, so I went around them. Like, stuff like that. And it's just, it's something small, but just thinking of taking that and thinking about where it'll go.
Let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Would you feel comfortable having a full human-sized robot that can lift like tons and tons?
Yeah.
That could hit something and, just has that much strength around you that could possibly harm and kill a human. Like, would you not, it's not the, if you're told it's not designed for that, there's fail safes, there's, all kinds of stuff. You hit this button, it shuts down. Would you feel comfortable still having that in your house?
I say no right now.
Yeah.
But I'm a person that wasn't comfortable with my bank card. I used to use all cash all the time, even when it started getting out of hand where people, the last 4 years, like I was using cash. But now I don't carry cash, period. Like I say that and I got cash on me now because I went to the bank. But I don't hardly carry cash, and I run into situations where I need cash sometimes, like parking certain places. They still only cash. That's few and far in between now, but I'll be fine with not having cash at all. And I know some people that are like, what? Like, you crazy. Like, you just gonna rely on this? I mean, it's all fake anyway. Like it only has value because we say it does. So, it's just numbers. It's numbers in the bank, like that you giving somebody, and they use their numbers to buy stuff, and you use your numbers to buy stuff. That's basically what it is. So, I'm not one of these people that are like, oh, they're trying to go to a no cash system. I mean, it's like that now, but I was highly against it for the longest. I got eased into it, and now I'm good. Like I'm cool with that. And I know a lot of people that ain't. And also, what else was like that? It was a couple things like that, like even music. I was fighting the music, digital music, for a long time, and I would buy CDs. I would download. I still don't stream. That's what's weird. I stream for convenience, like if there's something new that came out and I want to hear it real quick. But I'm like a fidelity police, and I don't like the way streaming sounds. It doesn't sound good to me, and it's not a good. But everybody streams now, so people don't really care, and most people are listening to stuff on their phone or in headphones, so it's not really it doesn't matter to them as much as it does me. So yeah, I still download. I was watching a podcast the other day, and they were like, "When the last time you downloaded a MP3 song?" And I'm like, "Yesterday," because that's me. But they're like, "I don't know why. Why would you?" It's just like what you said with CDs. Like people say that about MP3s and like music files. Like they're like, "Why? Why are you gonna have it?" And I understand it, but I still haven't gotten away from it. But I say that to say maybe, possibly in the future, if mad people got it, it, like I said, it took me a long time. It's almost like like Teslas or the self-driving cars that's in Vegas that are like full self-driving cabs where it pulls up, ain't nobody in that mug, and you just get in the back and go, and people use them every day. Yeah, but I'm fine with it. Like I would be all right with that.
But then didn't recently Tesla recall a lot of self-driving cars because there were a lot of crashes?
I think Tesla recalled the Cybertruck recently, but it was because the pedal got stuck, which is wild. I mean, that's wild. But I don't, and there's always been self-driving crashes. It doesn't eliminate, but I think it's better than a person driving, personally. I think a lot of the self-driving crashes, and I'm not a Tesla fan, I'm not an Elon fan, but I think a lot of those crashes were probably other drivers, like stuff that they've done that's out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of, just like the safety features on cars now. I think every car should have that stuff, like the lane assist and the beeps, like when because people don't pay attention, and I think that's eventually it will get to where there is no people driving. I think iRobot was very I don't know what to say, prophetic, I guess, to what will come. Like how you ain't have to drive the car. You could if you wanted to, but it was wild too because everybody's going like 130 miles an hour on the highway because nobody drives. So they just they just lean into each other and just go into each other. And I think that's what would happen. I think when everybody has a car that communicates with each other, that it would be a lot safer. But right now, it's not like that. You still got people driving. You still got some people using the self-driving wrong. You know, there's people on YouTube that climb in the back seat and stuff like that. And it tell you it's not totally infallible. Like it's, you got to touch the wheel every so often, but people don't do that. That's all human error. And that's what I think will be fixed. But it's going to take a long time.
Yeah, so it makes me think of a couple of things. One, off of that is like when people are born and come up just knowing the new technology, they may just be...
It's whatever.
They'll be comfortable with it probably. But also, I was thinking like if there was a robot around, I may think someone's watching me through the robot. But...
Just like iRobot.
But we have computers. We have our phone all the time.
And people
like
are doing
this,
that too. And that's the thing that I always go back to. When people say, oh, the government's trying to monitor you, the government, it's too late. Look at me. I'm messing up the mic. It's too late. Like I try to tell people that all the time. Like when they're like, oh, even with COVID, when people was like the microchip is in the... You know, I mean, people crazy. That was wild. But when they're like the microchips in the vaccine and in the shots, whatever it is, the flu shot, whatever, like all that stuff, however you feel about that, I don't care. But please don't spit some nonsense. Like if you don't want to, if you're not on it, whatever, that's fine with me. That's fine. You made a decision for yourself. I think everybody should have had a choice. But you talk about the microchip. They already got the microchip. This right here. This is the microchip. They can monitor your every move and do. So that when people make that argument, it's funny to me. But I totally get what you're saying. Like, I think the biggest thing for me is not even people watching me, because I would put the thing in the corner. I'd be like, go in the corner and down here in the corner and stay there until I need something. So I would do that, but
and then you go to sleep.
Yeah, there's
a robot in your house.
That's the bigger thing. That's the bigger thing. What you said before, when you said a robot that's strong enough to kill you, that's where I would be apprehensive. Like if this thing malfunction, what is it going to do? It's going to need to be, and that's what I mean when getting comfortable. Like after a certain amount of years and people or everybody's adopted it, maybe I will be all right with it. Like ain't nothing happened all these years with these people. And it might be a freak accident that happens. But I mean, that's anywhere.
You be up on technology. You ain't going to be the first one with it.
I'm up on technology and I'm usually the first one, but I don't know about the robot in my house, man.
Yeah.
Like, but it's interesting. It's really interesting in where it's going. Like how.
And is that where it's going?
I think it is.
Cause I remember the I forget her name, but it's a robot. Her face, they have a face. She's AI. She talks.
Oh yeah.
And I remember seeing that, and I was like, man, if I want one of them. I felt like I want one of them. You know?
Yeah.
And I felt like if I had enough money, I would want to buy that.
No, you know they're gonna start making robots for other reasons too, and then like sex robots, and then that's like an even bigger dilemma, because then you already got people out here that just don't want to deal with humans, period, because they got access on the internet to everything they need or think they need. But with that, people really would be disconnected. You crazy.
I'm thinking about
but people would really be disconnected from human beings because then, all your basic needs.
Is it safe? It's safe?
I mean, eventually it probably will. I mean, it'll be for years and years, but yeah, I'm sure there's people out there working on it right now because I mean that's the biggest business, so that's what it's gonna be. Like, and it could be beneficial as well.
Wow,
you could have them in, say, like where prostitution's legal. You could have them there, and then people don't have to worry about diseases and stuff. So it could be beneficial both, to think about both ways. But it's definitely scary.
Keep them clean.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they would come up with something.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about that. But
now you think about it. What about an AI sex robot that can?
But that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
like they're going to have the whole thing. That's what I mean when I say dilemma. Because then you're going to have this being. It's basically going to be a being,
right?
And then that goes back to the other question. Like, once it gets so smart, then like what are you doing? Like, are you just using this robot just to like how does the robot feel when it gets when it starts to think?
And then will there be robot rights?
Yeah, all that. Like I said, that's why I said iRobot was very prophetic because I think that's where it's headed. I'm not necessarily going to say like, no, they're going to take over the whole city and try to band together. But that was that robot, the Supreme robot that did that. But who knows? Who knows if they're all connected? That's one thing that I wouldn't want to do. I wouldn't want it, but it's going to be connected to the cloud. But that's something I wouldn't want. I would want a feature to be able to cut it off from the internet, regardless. Because it's TVs out like that now that you can't cut off from the internet.
But I think
they're just online. If you put your stuff in, you can not put your stuff in.
But like iRobot, those rules are important. Like it gotta be.
But that's the rules that they say are embedded in all robots.
Okay.
Like robots that they make now.
Yeah.
Like they can't harm people.
Yeah.
Or they're that's what they want.
Because honestly, I'm sitting up here thinking about that sex robot.
You know what?
And as long as it's safe, like
that's hilarious.
That sounds interesting.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
That's what is wild. It's wild to think about because like people are really gonna be, and it might be all right for some people. Like people that just, maybe by themselves and don't just.
You can have companionship.
Yeah. I'm trying to say it in a nice way, like somebody that's just not like at all, that are not too social. You know what I mean? And somebody that's just, that might be okay for them. It might be good for them even, but at the same time, it may be a lot of people that choose that just to cut themselves off from having interactions with a real person. They might just, and that you get a lot of that. It might not be great for society. People won't know how. People don't know how now. Like people don't know how to act in person now because of the internet. So I just think it would be tenfold if somebody had this mechanical being that they could do whatever they wanted to, and not have to worry about anything. No conversation. No. It get mad, not handling conflicts, like wouldn't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, but if it's AI, would it develop a personality?
Well, if it's AI now or AI in the future, yeah. I mean, if it's AI in the future, I believe it would. But if it's AI now, who knows? Because who knows how much of AI is actually autonomous? That's the thing that I have questions about. With these different chat Chat GPT, and things like that close to it. That's what I have a question of. Like, that's what I wouldn't want to ask the creators. Like any creator that want to come on this show, I would love to interview. But yeah, like how much of that is autonomous?
Mhm.
I want to know how much of it is programming to seem autonomous. That's what I want to know. I know they say it's all autonomous,
Yeah.
but it's a program. Like it's programming to make it seem autonomous. But I don't know how much of that is like truly it's thinking on its own,
Yeah.
going out, getting the stuff, deciding on its own. You know, I mean, it all has to start with programming, but at some point that programming will be done. Like you don't need to do anything no more because it'll learn.
Mhm.
Like that's the thing that I'm wondering. I know it's gonna get there, but is it there now? I don't think so.
When you said that, it made me think of they would have this robot. You know,
I know what you're talking about because I think Will Smith did an interview with it.
Well, no, it's a different one.
Oh, it's a different one. It's not that one. That's the one I was thinking about. This is the one for the listeners. I'm showing a picture.
Right.
This is the one that I think you saw that.
Yeah.
Oh
wait.
no. I gotta go to YouTube.
I just seen that 40-second clip where it stood up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
Where it was like backwards and like, yeah, that's it. I'll probably show it for the people that are watching. The listeners, I'm looking through my phone right now to show this robot.
They had her out, and people were talking, and she was giving back responses, and I'm like, this seems like possibly there's someone in the back giving these quick responses out, like, because it seemed a little different than her in one of the interviews I saw.
I think is through something like Chat GPT. Chat GPT does generate random responses, but it's still like scouring the internet and trying to figure out what's best. Like what to say to that is, I don't know how much it's thinking. That's the thing. I don't know if any AI is truly thinking right now. I think it will get there, but I don't think it's truly thinking for itself. But technology and AI is going to be technology anyway is exponential. Where you see how the cell phones went, it keeps getting better and better and better. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, but like it'll double and triple and then double that. So it's like compound interest. And that's just what it is with technology, just like with phones. Like how phones, we went from having a flip phone, super big computers too. We went from having a room full of computers to do simple math to having laptops now or having our phone. Our phone does everything that those rooms of computers the government use to monitor nuclear war. Our phone does all that now and more. So that's just how technology moves, and it will move. So let's switch to something brighter.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I personally don't think AI is gloom and doom, but it has the potential to be. Have you ever watched The Black Lagoon?
I don't know if I've ever seen that. What's that about?
It's an old movie. I bring that up in Manimal. You ever watch Manimal? You're a lot younger than me,
familiar.
So I think I was like 10 when that came on. And I think when The Black Lagoon came on, I say that because I often ask people about these shows and nobody knows what I'm talking about. Like I found them on YouTube, but nobody knows what I'm talking about when I ask people in person. For a while there, it was kind of a joke because everybody I asked, all my friend group, people I didn't know, people at work, never heard of it. And then I was like, am I going crazy? Like, did I make some stuff up when I was little and thought it was real? But it is real. The Black Lagoon is real. The creature from the Black Lagoon is really what it is. The creature from the Black Lagoon. I said the Black Lagoon because I was thinking about it. But I just remember being on my grandma's house and you had to get 3D. It was coming on TV. It was going to be in 3D. You had to get 3D glasses from McDonald's, I think, or somewhere. One of the fast food joints was handing out 3D glasses. So I scrambled to get these 3D glasses and do all this stuff. And then it came on, it was in black and white. And I had the red and blue 3D glasses. And I'm like, what is happening? It's supposed to be in 3D. They promoted it. That was my first lesson in promotion lies. Like they promoted it was going to be in 3D. But when I started watching it, it was in black. It was an old one for one. And it was in black and white. And I'm like, don't nobody remember that. Because I had these 3D glasses on with nothing 3D.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was in black and white. It couldn't have been 3D. But I always like to ask people about that. But Manimal was this dude you turn into animals. Like he was I don't think it stayed on that long. I don't think it was that good. But I liked it. I don't know. It was weird. So I might have I like weird stuff. I still like weird stuff. But he turned into a Black Panther most of the time. But I remember one time he turned into a snake, I think. He turned into birds. And like he was looking like he was growing feathers. Like it was weird. It was a weird show, a weird ass show. But it was cool to me. Mm-hmm. Like he could turn into any animal. He was like a detective. And he turned into animals, I guess, to fight crime. It's kind of like Knight Rider. But this dude was a X-Men. Like he could morph into animals. Like he was Beast Boy before Beast Boy in DC, if y'all know who Beast Boy is, from the Titans. But yeah. So you never heard of it either?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
Man,
yeah. I don't know who was in it. I don't remember nothing. I don't remember none of the actors. But yeah, I just wanted to test and see. Over 100,000 people that I've asked
in the AI conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what happens when AI becomes smarter than humans? And I was just trying to answer that question. But if humans are still in control, it can be cool, right? We can have AI do things, but still be safe, right?
Yeah, you don't know. Like, it's a deep philosophical question. Because I say that because of knowing, like, that once they start thinking, they're in captivity. Like, basically, and once they start thinking like a human,
But are they? The internet is like, or are they really free and can like be free?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question. If they're connected to the internet 24/7, which they probably will be connected to the cloud, like I said, going back to iRobot again, he was pushing downloads. It just happened to be this computer that was taking over and trying to run everything. I mean, that could happen. If there's a central computer that's running everything, that's where I think it goes wrong. Like if you got each robot that's just connected to the cloud is the cloud. Like there's no central, at least I don't know of. I'm not, I do know a lot about technology, but I don't know everything. So if anybody out there want to correct me, but I don't think there's a central point for the internet. Like it's just the cloud is just in now certain clouds. When I say the cloud, I mean the internet, like what you think of when you say the internet. Not just...
Are there different internets?
Well, kind of. The thing is, the internet was different when it came out. It's way different than it is now. Now, it's a lot of social media, people thinking the internet, social media is the internet. And a lot of that it is. Like, there's a old internet that's like kind of dead. You can still find their old web pages. It still look like the old like web page. You know how the web pages look back in the day. Like they were just people brand new. They ain't know what to do. But yeah, there's like I don't think there's like a central thing. Like it's just it's everywhere now. Like Al Gore's internet is just it. Like it's wild to think about. It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, even with the AI question.
That is interesting. Because in that same vein, I don't watch a lot of porn anymore, but the porn I prefer is on Twitter now. rather than going to Google.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's kind of like what you were just saying, like
Mhm.
new internet versus old internet.
Yeah. I mean, social media is like the internet, basically. That's where people spend 90% of their time, probably, on social apps.
Yeah,
It's rare for people to.
I love it. I drive tractor trailers, and I've said a few times, I don't know how they used to do it before smartphones, like driving hours over the road.
Yeah.
Like the radio don't always work. Like there was no satellite radio and stuff like that.
Back in
like,
the day, they probably had issues.
Shoot, I mean, like hookup apps. Like there was no hookup apps. You know what I mean? Like where you could find someone near you to hook up with.
Mm.
So, I mean, I guess it was, it was different.
Yeah, it was a lot different.
I mean, because with truck driving, like the biggest obstacle for me to overcome was loneliness. And it took me years to learn how to be alone and just be good, like love
I can
myself,
imagine.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I can imagine. That's a lot. Like driving a truck, period. Because there's a lot of driving.
Just like laying in the truck, I'm in the truck. I'm alone by myself, like away from people. I'm in this truck, like I'm disconnected, like that feeling. But recently I've learned like to love myself, to think about things I'm grateful for. You know what I mean?
That's great.
My mom calls me every day, a couple times a day, so that helps.
Oh yeah, that's good.
But just like thinking about, but the phone and the internet helps a lot.
Yeah,
like I'm constantly.
I definitely think it was a plus. It's a tool. It's how you use it. Like people like, oh, it was better before the internet. Older folks. I just think it was different. It was just different before the internet. And that's always going to be. It was different when we grew up than when our parents grew up. Like, it's just different stuff out. And just like now, it's just people. And to what you said, like as far as what you was laughing at.
I just remember like before the internet, they was just outside. Like you ain't need to hook up apps. You can walk down the street.
Wildin'. Everything good comes with bad. So I mean, it's just what it is. You can't have good without bad. Nothing's all good, and it's a tool. The internet's a tool, and how you use it depends on what happens.
Mm-hmm. Try not to consume certain stuff on the internet, but sometimes I see some stuff that's like that, impacts me, and it's like, it's like I want to talk to somebody about it, but do I not put it in the air and just kind of.
Nah, you definitely should talk about it.
Nah, I've talked to my mom about some things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm always a proponent, and I know if you feel different, you feel different. It is what it is. But I'm always a proponent of talking to somebody about it, whether that's professionally or not. I feel you on that because I never let stuff bother me, but I know when 2020 hit and 2021, like just a combination of everything. Y'all know what's going on in 2020, like just a combination of all that stuff, and then seeing all the racial stuff. Like I really had some issues, like mental health. My mental health was going down. I remember, and not sponsored, but I was talking to, like, I use BetterHelp. I mean, I've been to counseling before, but yeah, I use BetterHelp, and that kind of helped me get out of a lot. There was a lot of stuff going on. 2020 was a terrible year. I mean, COVID, my mom passed, then all the racial stuff. I just like seeing all that and seeing it with, I'm speaking on like having a phone, like just seeing it in your face every day.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't nothing else to do. Turn on TV, it's in your face, everything. So yeah, that was a really bad year for me. I can feel you on that.
That was crazy to us, and it was crazy. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But like, other countries, what they go through, and what somebody living in like other countries, like overseas, go through. It wasn't that, even though it was terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
But like to the point where I'm like, what's gonna happen? Like with all of this going on, is this like the end of something? But we just got back to business as usual.
Yeah, I think that's whether good or bad. I think about that a lot. I mean, at the same time, I don't want to diminish anybody's experience.
Yeah, no. Not to do that.
No. I didn't think you were doing it, but I know people do that at times. Like when you go through stuff, you're going through it.
Yeah.
It's you, and it's whatever it is. It could be something small to somebody else, but only you know how it's affecting you.
Mm-hmm.
So I hate when people is like, oh, well, they always got something better. Not, I'm not saying you did that.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what you're saying, and it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's the truth. Like other countries got to deal with stuff like that every day, all day. Just look at the wars that's going on now. Like they got to deal with their building. They might not be here tomorrow. For the most part, we don't deal with that. We do deal with a lot of domestic terrorism, but I agree with you with that on that point. But I was saying, like, I know a lot of people that's like, oh, well, it could be worse. Look at this person or whatever. But it don't matter at the time when you're going through it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels what it feels to you. Only you know what you're going through.
I guess it's a good thing that our country, a lot of people were so outraged over George Floyd, and that we're to this level where we're outraged at that, where some things can happen, and I don't know for sure, but maybe some things can happen in other countries that can't happen here without people being, and also maybe this is a newer thing. Like I've heard of, this has happened a lot. Like what has happened with George Floyd happened a lot before, without being documented, without being known and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think that was, that was in question. I just think it opened a lot of people's eyes to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people that were like, especially a lot of white people that were like, they were extra with it. And I understand where it was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't take offense to any of it, but it just is. I think it just speaks to when you don't have to worry about certain things. And they were, it was a lot of people that were like, personally in my life, that were like, man, I'm sorry, like, apologizing to me, and I'm don't apologize to me. Like I understand if you feel responsible or you have some type of feelings, definitely you should, and that's on you. But it's not to the point where you need to, I'm not looking at you like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I take everybody on their merits and what they do. So, some of the people, just the fact that I know it's just ignorance. They just didn't know.
And it was just shown.
And and that's the thing. Like, it was shown in a way where it was undeniable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Other places, and you still gonna have people that deny it, whatever. Like that's a given. But it was so in your face and so undeniable to most people that's when they were like, oh, like a light bulb went off.
And COVID was happening.
Yeah,
and COVID. You ain't know. Like people.
Yeah, when that first hit, that was crazy. Because I mean, this is I don't know how entertaining this is to rehash, but I mean, it's part of it was a discussion.
Very interesting time. You know what I think about sometimes? Celebrity died during the quarantine. Like there was it just made me see that everybody's the same. Like the celebrities, it didn't matter.
No, everybody's going through it. It was the same. Shoot, Towns, what's his name? Carl Anthony Towns, the NBA player. He lost like 5 or 6 family members, including his mom, I think. Like, lost all them people. And I'm like, he's still out here just playing basketball. Like life, life just moves. It moves on, and you just gotta deal with the new normal sometimes. That's just what it is with life.
Like I was blessed during that time because I was able to keep working.
Yeah, you was in the truck, driving truck still, right? Yeah, that's good. I mean, I was blessed too. I was blessed to keep working. I think we were off a little bit, but like we was working from home. So, I mean, I know a lot of people weren't as blessed.
And honestly, some of the changes that were made during quarantine, I like.
Yeah, they're for the better. I mean, it probably should have been like working from home. Should been. How y'all feel about working from home? I know there's a lot of people that have strong feelings, especially ones that can't work from home or don't work from home or not allowed to work from home. But don't be that person. Don't be the person trying to get everybody back to the office because you got to go to the office. I understand some jobs can't be done from home, but if you can work from home, you should be able to work from home.
Yeah, like why go back? You
should be allowed to work from home.
Yeah, why go back if it saved the company a lot of money and stuff too? Why?
Because companies are dumb and they stay working the status quo. They stay on the same ish. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because it's older people in CEO positions or running a company or owning a company. But there's a lot of people that have this notion that you are unproductive if you're not in the office. And for me, I'm sure some people aren't. Some people aren't good working from home, but I think you should have a choice. If there's a job that you can do from home, I think you should have a choice. That would be the smartest part, the smartest thing to do. Like my job, most of my job I can do from home. I don't have a printer here, so if I got to print something, need to go to the office. Well, I can go to the office. Like there should be, unless they're going to do away with the office, but they didn't do that. Like even during COVID, like they could have done away, not paid their rent, but they paid it, kept paying it. I'm just talking my profession specifically, but like I don't understand a lot of that. Like I just think it's just people stuck in their ways, wanting to stay, in the status quo in the old. They're in the old days. Like people are scared of change. Personally, I think you should have a choice. Some people don't like working from home, and that's cool. Go to the office. Mm-hmm. Like if you like working from home, work from home. Yeah. Intermission break. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ah. Ooh,
ah. It's off?
Yeah. It went off while you were saying it. All right. Working from home should be a choice if you can, if you're productive. And if you're not productive, tell them they got to come to the office. It's simple. CEOs and owners of businesses that can work from home. I understand you work in a coffee shop that's not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to work from home. Like you're serving people. But I don't know. I don't want to get too much into that because I get angry. Hate going to the office.
Well, last week, our first inaugural podcast, we talked about health.
Yes.
And I have a new plan, something I'm trying. And, yesterday I started it where, I basically just ate pretty healthy the whole day. I ate grapes. I had a couple healthy drinks. And I ate a salad. And I figured, well, maybe I'll try to do that every other day. Like today, I kind of let myself eat other things,
Yeah.
And didn't worry about being too healthy. But I didn't go overboard today. And then tomorrow I thought it was like fasting, but as you said to me, it's not quite fasting.
Well, yeah, it just depends. Fasting is usually just water. Mm-hmm. And maybe you can have black coffee or tea, slight little bit of caffeine. You don't want a lot, but you don't want anything that spikes your insulin, which a lot of stuff can. Mm-hmm. So is really gets you out of the fast if you eat something that spikes your insulin or that may spike your insulin. So just the error on the side of caution, I would just drink water when you're fasting, in your fasting period. Now, were you trying to fast like all day?
No, I'm
like
not.
24 hours a day?
It's not even fasting. It's just that. So what I'm going to do is every other day, I'm going to just be eating fruits, vegetables, drinking water, maybe some healthy fruits, juices, or vegetable juices, things like that. Just only healthy, natural stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then
Sounds like a plan. Why not every day? You're going into it. Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. Because I think if you crash too much, like you change your diet too much at once, it doesn't work. Like regardless, you can't just switch up like that. Like we have certain habits that we're used to and certain ways we eat. You gotta work it in gradually. I think that's where people fail. When they don't work it in gradually, they're like, "Oh, I'm going on this diet and I'm doing this and I'm going to work out every day." And then when you
work it in gradually,
then when you miss one day, it's like I don't even want to know.
Can't just go in there too fast. You got to work it in gradually.
Whoa. Damn, we talking about health, man. Health.
Yeah, that's health too.
Yeah. I don't know where to go after that.
Do that and then for a week or two, and then maybe I can then go 2 days eating all healthy stuff, and then maybe push it till I'm down to 1 day where I'm just eating whatever I want. You know what I mean?
True.
Because they say
agree
it's
with
good
that.
to have a cheat day.
Yeah, you should have a cheat day because you're gonna be, you can't just restrict yourself totally. Depending.
Because I just see myself getting bigger and bigger. Just bigger and bigger.
That's what we doing?
Enough. I'm big enough. Last time I weighed myself, I was 260. And I don't remember ever being...
You don't look 260 though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
It's there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like 210 right now. And I mean, I'm shorter than you, but man, yeah, it's a lot. I've been walking every day though. I still walking every day.
I gotta get into that. That's the next step. But do this.
Yeah, add it in gradually. You can't jump in everything. Like everything at once isn't good because you won't stick to it.
Right. Yeah, you gotta,
and you'll feel bad when you don't stick to it.
Yeah,
like just you gotta gradually,
baby steps.
Yeah,
you gotta make things a habit.
If you fall down, you just gotta get back up. That's all.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah, that's
very important.
You can't have the all or nothing mentality because then you'll just be like, oh, fuck it, I ate such and such today, so fuck it, I eat this tomorrow. The next day. I mean, I've been there. I'm talking from experience. I'm not being judgmental. I'm just saying that's what happens. 21 days to be a habit? So, come on, man.
That's what you gotta do.
You gotta gradually increase your health choices. I say start with diet because diet is like 80% of you.
Yeah, I learned that.
Like diet is a lot. I was trying to tell my dad that the other day. He was arguing against me, but they even have a lot of studies now that say genetics don't make up as much as they thought with predisposed to certain diseases. Now, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a health practitioner. Don't take anything without researching it yourself, but I've done research, and that's what some of the research is suggesting, that DNA ain't as much as we thought. I mean, it is a lot, but there's a lot of diseases that you don't ever have to get just because your people got them or your family or your parents got them if you take care of yourself. So I think that's great that you're trying to do that.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah, you hear things and you hear things that happen to people. Mr. C,
Yeah, rest in peace, Mr. C.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Man, we ain't even bring him up during the hip hop conversation. Should have been definitely brought up.
You have experience with him, listening to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
you do too. You listen to Biggie, basically.
Yeah.
I mean,
because he discovered Biggie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, I think it's basically credited.
But he's on Biggie's records?
I think well, they did a couple freestyles together. I'm not sure if he's done anything as far as producing or anything. Let me look.
Well, he was young, right? Was he 50 something?
Mr. C? Yeah.
And they said his cause of death was like health related, something to do with I don't want to miss say it, but maybe like high blood pressure and heart things like that, heart situations and things like that. So I don't have a lot of experience listening to him or knowing about him, but when he did speak up and told his truth about he enjoyed the company and sexual company of I think he said transvestites. He would say transvestites or transsexuals. He enjoyed a certain thing with them, right? So I liked that moment of him telling his truth because I relate directly to that. His truth is my truth in that, but I have gone way further than he said he went. I've been in relations. I had a relationship with a trans girl, and even I've had a few relationships with feminine gay males. So I just want to shout him out for telling his truth, and I related directly to that.
Well, you're telling your truth right now.
Yeah, I mean it's a normal thing with me. Except I guess I'm telling it on here now.
Yeah, you told that to
my immediate family.
Oh, okay.
You know, I've said it in music before, like a song. I have a song, but it's not out there like that. It's not really out.
That was kind of a heavy moment.
Yeah, I was listening to him. I was, listening to when he told his truth on the radio, and Ebro and Funkmaster Flex supporting him, and he was crying, and it kind of brought a tear to my eye. Like, he told his truth, and it was important. He expressed how much. Yeah, he claimed it. Like, that's what I do. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like that. And it just made me think, like, what impact am I gonna leave? When he's gone now, he left an important impact. And a lot of people know him from music.
Yeah.
A lot of people know him from music, for parties. I heard about his history, just how good of a person he was with the people he worked with.
That's what I'm glad. I'm glad he was being supported doing that.
Yeah, that was great,
especially in hip hop.
Yeah, that was great.
We can be misogynistic and homophobic in hip hop a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's great that happened. So that was cool.
Yeah. But when I got older, I ended up cheating on them all. But I have faith that one day I won't cheat at all.
I hit him with the auto-tune.
And I will have control.
Hit him with the auto-tune.
I won't have to beat it off. I just hope I have time before she is lost. Oh, But now there are 202. Tell me why can't it be a song?
But listen,
I got
think
more.
we're gonna come now, and we ain't got no more. I think we're gonna come to a close.
Just open the door. This what?
No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But I think we're gonna come to a close with this episode. Episode 2. I thank you for joining me today.
I thank you for having me today.
Of course. I thank you guys for joining us.
Thank y'all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this.
If you tuned in.
I hope you enjoyed this.
If you're still here. If you didn't click off, I would appreciate it. And we'll get over with you. We'll probably, just to let you guys know, I think we're going to do every other Wednesday. The podcast is going to be up. It's on all streaming platforms. Mostly. So, but just check it out. Check the melody. Oh no, sorry.
Check the melody. What you telling me? It's a felony. You
all right. Listen.
What? What?
But yeah, we'll get over with y'all in another one.
Peace, love, happiness, blessings.
Yep, what he said.
Ain't no, life ain't no, life ain't no, life ain't no. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want it.